I don't know I don't know what to say about it. I mean, I personally don't think it has anything to do with the status of black people, to be honest with you. How to fund a startup with fair credit, no sales history, but you have an EIN. Um, I would say fund it with people that you know. I don't think banks are going to usually give you loans if you don't have collateral or something like that. I'm looking to leave corporate America. What business do you recommend that I start? A lot of people start online businesses. I would say maybe start by learning. Go back to school. Join some sort of club or organization for Black business owners. We have a few things. If you're on Instagram, you look at my link in the bio. We have some stuff in the Black Business School. You can check that out. So just go, or you can go to boycewatkins.com. And there's plenty of stuff there. In fact, actually on boycewatkins.com or the link in the bio on Instagram, I actually put some stuff in there in terms of stock picks that I like for this week. So if you'd like to know what stocks I'm buying, feel free to take a look at go to boycewatkins.com. Which crypto do you think will take off? I'm a big fan of Bitcoin and Ethereum. What do you think about the crypto.com coin? I think crypto.com is making big moves. It looks like they are really investing heavily in their future. I saw that they named an arena after crypto.com, which I thought was pretty crazy. Hey, El Hodge and Talanda and Bright and Curly. How you doing, Kanisha? Let's see. What do you see coming for the housing market in 2022? I think it's going to cool off. It can't be any more rapid than it is right now. Right now, your big problem is you have a lot of inflation, and a lot of people are trying to bet on whether or not the inflation is going to go up or down. It's growing at a rate that's faster than it's ever grown in the last 30 years. A lot of people are not surprised by this, but really the verdict is still out. What do you think about IULs, Index Universal Life? I like IULs a lot. I think they're a great savings vehicle if you have a hard time saving or investing. Thoughts on Zillow, buy or sell? I'm not going to buy Zillow. They made a huge mistake. They bought all those houses and totally screwed up. Do you support or believe in Black Lives Matter? I believe in the people who believe in Black Lives Matter, but I don't believe in Black Lives Matter. So it's like military stuff, right? Like the war in Afghanistan, we know it was BS, but I support the troops. I have a lot of respect for soldiers. I just don't have a lot of respect for people who are sending 20-year-olds off to die so they can go make extra money. I have a big problem with that. Would you still recommend a person to attend college to study finance to gain knowledge about starting a business? Yeah, college is a lot of fun. I'm not anti-college at all. I've never been anti-college. Our son right now, we just dropped him off at college, right? So college is a big part of our family, but I told him college ain't everything. College ain't gonna get you it's not gonna make you successful. College will give you a specific skill set that involves, having the life experience of being a college student, which is a great opportunity to grow up. It also gives you the ability, if you choose to go work in corporate America, you can, it helps you kind of do that, but it's not going to make you a millionaire. It's not going to make you a successful Black man. So college is what it is, but it ain't what it ain't. And that's what I would say. So remember, it is what it is, but it ain't what it ain't. And the problem is that y'all thought it ain't what it is and that it is what it ain't. And that's where you get in trouble. What do you think about Biden transferring power during surgery? I think Kamala Harris is going to be our first female president. That's been the game all along. Biden's his old ratchety ass is not going to last. He probably won't last one term. He definitely ain't going to last two. Kamala Harris will be your president. I guarantee it. So you might want to buy some cannabis stocks because she's going to start working to legalize cannabis. People in LA are not happy with the change at the Staples Center. Oh, they're not? Really? I didn't know that. What's the best way to raise a financially sound child in these times? We have a program at blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. If you're on Instagram, the link is in the bio for our children's program. It's very successful. We have thousands of kids that we've educated. And it's basically where I took everything I taught college students at Syracuse University for 13 years, and I crunched it down into baby food so that your children could learn this stuff at an early age, because that's what I'm not into. Equality. I don't believe in integration and equality and all that stuff. I'm not into separation either. I believe in cooperation. I believe in partnerships, but I don't believe in integration because integration was very bad for Black people. I also don't believe in equality. I don't want to be equal. I want to win. I don't believe you deserve equality. I believe you deserve to win. So I want you to position your children so they will win. How do you make them win? Well, you start teaching them about wealth and economics when they're young, so they'll be ready, right? Think about it. We're teaching our kids how to play football, how to play basketball, how to rap when they're 6 years old. Why not teach them how to buy real estate? Why not teach them how to buy stocks? Why not teach them how to start a business when they're 6 years old? They're going to be way ahead of the other kids. They're going to dominate the Jewish kids. They're going to dominate the Asian kids. They're going to dominate the Africans. They're going to dominate the white people. They're going to dominate everybody because they're going to be better prepared. So prepare them for war. Prepare them for war. Period. So the program, it's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com, or if you go to boycewatkins.com, you'll see the link in the bio right there on that page. Let's see. It was a message to them. It's going to be chaos. Okay. Let's see. Thoughts on buying Ford. I like Ford. Ford stock has been good for me. I think their partnership with They had a partnership with a electric vehicle company that kind of broke down. I don't know what that did to the stock, but I'm gonna take a look with that. Let's see here. Your options class is still available. Thanks for everything. Yeah. If you go to the link in the bio, you go to boycewatkins.com, you can find the Black Business School there, and you can actually go and find the options class there. Or if you can also go to stockoptionsmasterclass.com. That's stockoptionsmasterclass.com. It's a great program. I did that basically a weekend intensive on stock option investing. And so if you're into options and that's your thing, feel free to take a look. I studied options extensively in my PhD program. So so the mathematical dynamics of options are kind of easy for me. And I think options are something you want to add to your portfolio. Let's see here. Why do you associate with Jay Morrison? Because I love the Black House. I was very impressed with the fact that Jay did something nobody else has done since Marcus Garvey. He raised $11.5 million in a grassroots campaign. And so I've worked extensively with him, and it's been great. And I believe in I like working with Black people that can play above the rim, that can think on a systematic level. And so with Atlanta, I just feel good about the Black House. I've been to the Black House many times, and it is a beautiful place. It is something nobody else has done, and I personally think that that's what we need. We need 1,000 units of these things all across the country that are going to be our institutions, our universities. We need a university system. If the white man can do it, then we can do it too. So that's why I associate with Jay Morrison. I rock with Jay. I think Jay's been great as a business partner. I love talking to him, and I like people that are just smart. Let's see here. Ask me a financial question and I'll answer. Why aren't you super wealthy? Because I don't, being super wealthy is not what I intend to do. I am wealthy. You can look up I think Celebrity Net Worth lists my net worth on there. It's lower than what it actually is. They list $8 million. I'm worth more than $8 million, but I'm not out here. I'm not a materialistic person. The thing is that I'm into financial freedom, and financial freedom does not mean being super wealthy. If you live your life for money, I think that's an empty life. I'm not telling you that there's something wrong with that, but I'm not the guy who's going to pull up in a Lamborghini and say, look, if you do what I do, if you take my program, you get to drive a Lamborghini too. To me, that's lower level, low vibrational thinking. That's like saying that the reason, it's like when my cousin, I had a raggedy cousin who became a Muslim. And you know what he said? He was trying to talk me into becoming a Muslim. All he did was he spent an hour telling me that with that in his particular sect or faith, whatever, he said, now I'm not saying this is true of all Muslims, so don't get offended if you are in that category. But he literally kept saying, well, if you want to have sex, she has to have sex with you. She can't say no. She must have sex with you. And I was like, I was 24 years old. And I was like, dude, is that your whole pitch on why I should be a Muslim? Is I can get all the ass I want? Like, really? That's it? Like, that's all you got for me? So I just personally, I'm not telling you what to be. And a lot of people ain't going to get it. Maybe a big percentage of our people are not going to get it because they watch rappers and, driving fancy cars with jewelry on and sipping lean and got a woman in a bikini in the front seat. And look at what's going on. These dudes are getting killed. These dudes are unhappy. These dudes are drug addicts. These dudes are living a raggedy ass life. Why do you want a raggedy ass life? I don't want you to have a raggedy life. I want you to have a fulfilled life. I want you to have a happy life. So if getting a Lamborghini is part of your journey to living a fulfilled life, then go get the Lamborghini. And after you done drove it around and you get bored, come back and talk to me. And I want to take you to another level of spiritual and fulfillment. I want to show you what happiness really looks like. And it ain't in that goddamn Lamborghini. It ain't with that raggedy woman that you found on the street who's wearing a bikini. She looks good on the outside, but her spirit might be all messed up on the inside. I just encourage you to think higher than that. Right. So I guess that goes back to that question. Why are you not super rich? I'm probably richer than you, but that's just the truth. But the reality is that I just want to have enough money to take care of my family and to do something that's meaningful in my life before I die. There's only so many nice cars and nice houses and everything you can have. Then eventually you start looking for a purpose that means something. I want to find the purpose. Money can't buy that. Money can't buy your soul. So anyway, let me keep going. Can you be wealthy and live modestly? Absolutely, Queen Bryant. I believe in that. I think you find out what makes you happy. What makes me happy? I found out that the key to happiness is not the big stuff. The key for happiness, at least in my journey, was the little stuff. It's like the happiness for me means working with people that I like. I get to talk to Black people every day. That's like heaven for me. Good Black people, not raggedy Negroes. I talk to good Black people. Two, I married the girl of my dreams. She's the most beautiful woman in the world. Three, I love being a dad. That is awesome. 4, I like taking afternoon naps. 5, I like my man cave where I have a big screen TV downstairs. And then 6, I've had a chance to travel a little bit. That's been a lot of fun. Like that's my key to happiness. So give me an extra $100 million isn't gonna make me any happier. It probably might just make me more stressed out because there'll be more stuff to deal with. Let me keep going. What's the best supplementary income? I would join a group. I would join a group or join some sort of club or class or something that can help you with that process. We have some stuff in the Black Business School course, but there's stuff out there. I would do that because what happens is you'll find that your next great idea is in the brain of somebody else that you know. And if you communicate and you talk, somebody else can take a fresh eye at look at what you're doing and say, well, if you do that, you could probably make money selling that. Like, I saw you did that. That was really good. I would buy that too. And then you're like, oh, crap. Okay, well, let me go ahead and put this on sale. Next thing you know, you're making more money. I've seen it happen 1,000 times. There was a student that was in our entrepreneurship class who was making really good CMOS, and she wasn't selling, she was giving it away. And everybody, and I think I just said something basic, like if you see something that people demand, that's money, right? If they want it, they are willing usually to pay a little bit to have it. And so she said, oh, maybe I could sell my CMOS. Now all she does is make CMOS all day because her income has like quadrupled because her and her son and her husband all quit their jobs so they can make CMOS now. Right. So you probably have your $1 million idea right beneath you. It's right there in your world. You just have to kind of have somebody dig it out, because sometimes if you're too close to it, you won't see it. What's the word? What's the word? Thunderbird. Let's see. Nothing surprising at all about the Kenosha verdict. Not the Arbery murder verdict either way. Yeah. I kind of feel like we have to think about systematic issues as opposed to idiosyncratic or one-off specific issues. One situation with a white guy and a black guy, to me, that just gets you riled up. That's theatrics. That's a story. That's drama. I'm more into systematic solutions, right? Like mass incarceration is systematic because most of you are probably affected by somebody who went to prison. The educational system is systematic because most of you probably went to a racist school or dealt with the racist curricula. The economic system is systematic because many of you have probably worked for a white person and been pissed off every day when you went to work. So I prefer to deal with the big picture stuff. I don't really get so caught up in the drama, the little picture stuff, unless it's just for entertainment to talk about a particular story and to extrapolate and learn something from that. Are you familiar with binary options? Yes, I do. Do you know anyone who is profitable and is teaching it? You know what? We don't have anybody teaching binary options in the Black Business School, but I know that we have this new brother, Corey. Don't have his last name, gosh, but he's doing a Forex class very soon. So if you go to BoyceWatkins.com, just click on the link to get a free copy of my book and get on the email list at BoyceWatkins.com. And you'll get the free book, but then you'll be on the email list. I will email you when the Forex class is ready. I think he's about to launch it. He's super good at what he does. I just don't have his last name. We have a lot of faculty in the Black Business School. So that's what makes our institution special, I think, is that we literally have pulled in dozens of Black experts, from lawyers to professors to people that have done like Herb Strather has literally done $2 billion worth of real estate deals. So we have a great relationship with Herb Strather, another brother, Dr. Ken Harris, who's the head of the Black Business League, started by W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, that has thousands of Black-owned businesses in there, and they're doing delegations back and forth to Africa. Dr. George C. Frazier, who wrote the book Success Runs in Our Race, that is required reading at every HBCU in America. He created the Power Networking Conference. Dr. Claude Anderson, the author of Powernomics. Like, we really aim to bring it all together, because we believe that when you bring together Black excellence just in a big pile of Black excellence cannot be defeated. Like, I really believe that when you have excellent Black people together, working together for one common cause, we become the strongest university ever. So you can't tell me that the Black Business School isn't better than Harvard, isn't better than Yale, isn't better than Stanford when it comes to the best way to prepare Black people to be successful out here. So I don't care if you're young or old, male or female, a gay or straight, from the hood or from the suburbs. You will see something in the Black Business School that works for you, and I think you're going to like it. Chris Tucker owes $9 million in taxes. Yeah, taxes will get you in trouble if you when you get rich like that. So I did see that. I hope he works that out. He better go make another movie, huh? What do you think about Solana coin? I don't own Solana. I can't give a precise assessment of Solana because I don't know a ton about it. I invest most of my money in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and also I have some cryptos. What are the cryptos? If you go to drboycecrypto.com, I think I did a video screenshot of all the cryptos I own. So drboycecrypto.com, you can feel free to take a look at that. I like Engine Coin, ENJIN. Engine Coin's been taking off. I think it went up 100% this month. I think it's going to keep going up. It's related to the metaverse. Now, one thing you want to be careful about with crypto is that there are assessments now where experts are saying that crypto might crash, that if the Fed reacts to inflation faster than is expected, your crypto could crash, and a lot of your what they call long duration stocks could crash. Long duration means stocks that haven't made a lot of money yet, but they're sort of living off their potential. Their potential is like a big bubble, and basically the Fed increasing interest rates is like popping that bubble. So you could have a pop, you could have a crash. It'll be interesting to see how the Fed handles it. Tyrone Jackson says, is race hustling lucrative? I'm sure that it is. Let's see. Love to hear more of your thoughts on Kamala Harris becoming the POTUS. Yeah, I think Kamala is going to be president. I don't think Kamala's a bad politician, but I don't see Kamala as a black politician. That's it. I think just like Barack Obama, I think that they're both good politicians. And what I probably would what's the word? What I just want to point out is that they use black people because you think that they're your friends. They're not your friends. Like they're friends of the people that they really represent. Obama represents the gay community more than he represents the black community. That was an LGBT play, in my opinion. I really feel that way. I'm sorry. Kamala Harris is great. I in certain ways, I don't see anything about her being president that gives black people anything other than more symbolism. And it's not even real symbolism. It's like symbolic symbolism. It's like fake. It's like fake on top of fake. It's like a copy of a copy of a copy where, I don't relate to her. And it's funny, like they'll throw up these black people and they'll be like, oh, they're black just like you. And I'll be like, no, they're not. Barack Obama grew up in, was it Indonesia and Hawaii? Like that ain't my, I don't know nothing about that black. I want to see some black dude who grew up like in Alabama or Kentucky or whatever, who had two African-American parents, who has really gone through what I've gone through, who can relate to what I relate to. The reason that somebody like that doesn't get put into a position like that is because there is a hatred against people like us. Like if you're 100% African-American, and some of you are not, and I'm not here to discriminate against you at all. I love you too. Because you get it. The reason you're here is because you get it, and you're probably a smart person. You're not an average Negro. That's why you're here. But I don't feel like America. I feel like America hates people like me. My great grandparents were slaves. They hate me more than they hate anybody else. And that's why you will see scenarios where when a black person is elevated to a certain position, it's usually like they usually have a twist. It's usually blackness with a twist. Like you're not African American, maybe you're Jamaican, or no disrespect to Jamaicans. I got a lot of Jamaican friends, but you're not African American. Your family came from Ghana, or you're not African American. You got a Japanese mama, or whatever, right? Or you're Bruno Mars, or Dwayne Johnson, right? Dwayne Johnson would look like Wesley Snipes. He wouldn't be The Rock. He would be a guy whose career ended in 1999. And so I kind of think that these ambiguously black people, they kind of check a lot of boxes. That's why you tend to see light-skinned black people elevate to positions that darker-skinned black people don't get. And you also see black people that are more international get opportunities that African Americans don't get. That's just a fact. That's what I see when I see Kamala. That's what I get when I see Barack. But that's what it is. It is what it is. Let's see here. How are you doing mentally and health-wise? I'm doing good mentally and health-wise. Oh, we just closed on a property in Atlanta. So I am going to live in Atlanta part of the time, not more than maybe 20 or 30% of the time. But we did just get a property in Atlanta. It was a pain in the ass. It took forever to sign all the paperwork. Real estate is such a pain in the butt. But yes, we did get a property in Atlanta. And that's because I believe Atlanta, that's the spot. Don't get me wrong. LA is a problem because y'all too caught up in all these mandates, right? So LA used to be one of my favorite cities. It's not my favorite city anymore. I feel like I'm not even welcome to LA because I didn't get all those jabs and everything. But Texas is nice. Houston and Dallas, great stuff going on there. The folks in Philadelphia, I love them. I wish the violence would kind of slow down. I wish we would actually fight against that. Let's see, what's another city that comes to mind? Oakland. I love Oaktown because Oakland's just real special, real unique. The people in Brooklyn are super sharp and awesome and smart and assertive. But I feel like Atlanta is like kaboom. Atlanta's where your $1 trillion black entertainment industry is going to come. And it's not going to just be Tyler Perry putting on a dress. He got a head start. He cheated. He put on a dress. He did the coon thing. That's why he's going to be a billionaire first. But eventually you're going to see other people come behind him that, like the Black House where Jay Morris and all those guys are. Got Brother Ben X. I bumped into Brother Ben X where they're buying Hereafter Farms. I think they're getting that down in Georgia. They're creating whole Black communities down there. They're building a whole entertainment industry down there. They're able to build their own schools down there. I wanted to just be a part of that. Like, I would just go to Atlanta and I would just feel so good. And Sanford says, don't sleep on Charlotte. Yeah, I agree with you about Charlotte. We actually Charlotte is the front runner for the All Black National Convention next year, and I want to engage with Charlotte a whole lot more. But I'm just telling you, and I think Detroit's strength is like you have that real strong tech industry there. You have a lot of really great people, like the real estate people we work with. Some of them are from Detroit, like Herb Strather and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you, Dr. Ken Harris is just the coolest guy. I love talking to him. And he and I talk a lot with Dr. Claude Anderson about things, and I have a lot of respect for them. So Detroit is good. I think Detroit's downside is, like, first of all, y'all get that horrible weather, and then two, there's something weird. It's plantationist in Detroit. Like, there's something that happened, like when Kwame Kilpatrick went to jail. Suddenly, the white people came in to restore order, right? Because now, like they just kind of looked at like, okay, now the grown-ups are in charge of Detroit. So now Detroit has kind of become like this weird plantation style scenario where you got all these Black people, but white people are kind of running everything. So Detroit, I don't know what to make of that city, but I have people there that I like, and there are opportunities there for sure. What do you think about Shiba, XLM, and Lynx crypto? I like XLM. I'm not a big fan of Shiba. Hey babe, you want to sit down? Okay, my wife's coming in to hang out. Let's see. What do you think about making a podcast show in NFT? That's a good idea, Vicky Doe Fitness. In the Black Crypto Club, they're talking about NFTs a lot. If you look in the link in the bio, you'll see the Black Crypto Club in there. Or if you go to BoyceWatkins.com, there's a link there for the Black Crypto Club. They meet once a month, but there's a ton of curricula. They record all their meetings, and they bring in crypto experts every month. So you may want to take a look at the Black Crypto Club and the Black Business School if you want to be on the cutting edge of what's happening. I think NFTs are big. I think the metaverse is big. I think NFTs and the metaverse and Ethereum and all that's connected. So, my big play is Ethereum. I love Ethereum. Let's see. Thoughts on XRP? I think XRP is eventually going to get out of jail. I've been holding my XRP for a while since they've been under suspicion. Let's see here. Are there new government programs that can help us with buying a home or starting businesses since Biden got approved with a new budget? I don't know anything about that, Mark. I don't know anything about new government programs. I have to go look through the spending bill that they came through. From what I understand, a lot of it connects to infrastructure, but I'm really going to check. I did read an article today where they were talking about how what was it? How who benefit? I think they said Wall Street really benefits from the stimulus package, because I knew what was going to happen when that spending bill went through. They were claiming they were going to raise taxes to pay for it, and they never do. So basically, Wall Street came up and said, "No, you can't raise business taxes because that's going to hurt working class people." It's not true. That's BS. But they actually got them to stop. To shut down a lot of the taxes they were going to increase on corporations and on wealthy people, and and the tobacco industry, oddly enough, benefits. And but I got to go look through it in more detail to know more about it. Let's see here. Left says, did you speak about investing in fintech yet? Yes, I think fintech is one of the great innovations occurring right now. I think that fintech is something worth looking at. I think there are a lot of plays in fintech that can be made that are beneficial. I look, when I think about fintech, I'm thinking about also with the crypto space in terms of the decentralization of the monetary system and how cutting out that middleman is really going to create massive amounts of efficiency. And I would encourage everybody to kind of become hip to what's going on in the fintech space. So my wife is writing me a note. What does that say? Midnight? Mm-hmm. Okay, what happens at midnight? Oh,
come grab you from.
Oh, you're gonna grab me? Okay, so my wife's gonna come grab me at midnight. All right, good stuff. Thank you, babe. How can I write to you and share with you a horrible racist government contracting situation that occurred in my small Black-owned business in Maryland? May I have your email address? Yes, my email address is boyce@boycewatkins.com. That's boyce@boycewatkins.com. So feel free to send it to boyce@boycewatkins.com. Let's see, and I'm very sorry you had to go through that. Wars consist of old men talking and young men dying. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But you don't have to go to college to learn, and you might acquire a lifetime of debt. Yeah, knowledge and learning is important. Skills are important. College is not necessary to have skill. College is not necessary to have knowledge. College is not necessary to learn, but college is a good experience. So if you can keep the cost down, I think it's worth it. The problem is when you go like $100,000 in debt for like a degree in English literature, you better learn how to start a business, because that's the only way you're going to really be able to conquer that debt. So if you have a lot of debt, You have to be a business owner and an investor to accelerate your income so that you can knock the debt out. Because if you don't, if you try to pay that debt back with a job, you effectively become a sharecropper. So be really careful about that. And I want to remind you guys that speaking of that, I am doing an event with Jay Morrison that's free to the public. I asked Jay, I said, I would love for you to explain how you were able to raise $11.5 million during the pandemic. I don't know anybody else who's ever done that, and how you're able to do all these things you've done, the Tulsa Fund, the Black House, and all that. So Jay and I are doing an event called Secrets of the 1%. Jay's going to do most of the talking, and I'm going to engage you a little bit with him. And so it's totally free. If you go to BoyceWatkins.com, the link is in the bio where you can sign up. And it's called Secrets of the 1% in terms of how, like, Jay has a unique perspective on how leverage and credit and things like that can be used to allow you to get deeper into real estate and stuff like that. And that's pretty much what it is. So if you're interested, feel free to go take a look. Where is he reading the questions from? I'm reading them on the screen. So I saw your question, Bounty Nomad. One thing about it is that when I go live, I'm usually live on multiple platforms. That's why you may not see all the questions. I think we need to educate Black people on how to buy crypto. What do you think? I agree. I think there ain't nothing to it but to do it. There's lots of ways to get education. I personally believe that I just think we should just own all of our education. Our core values in the Black Business School are what we call the Black Core of Three. The Black Core of Three is that Black people should educate our own children, create our own jobs, and support Black businesses. If we educate our own kids, we help them avoid being brainwashed by white people. No disrespect to white people, but y'all crazy. Y'all got some ideas that don't make sense to us. Number two, if we create our own jobs, we don't have to beg other communities to employ us. We can employ ourselves. And if we support Black businesses, then those businesses have the ability to reinvest in the community and create more jobs, and also build schools, right? So when Kanye West was talking about how he's a billionaire, I said, I get it, bro. I hear you. You're rich. Good for you. But stop talking about you and start talking about us. Start talking about the whole community now. It's time for you to elevate out of this, this tunnel that can almost sound a little narcissist if you're not careful. It can sound like narcissism, where you're talking about how great you are. And I get that. That's what hip hop is all about. It's about chest thumping and bragging about how great you are. But after you finish doing that, let's talk about a process. Let's talk about a plan. So if you're worth $4 billion, write that check for $100 million so that we can get to building these Black-owned schools. And you can do it in a way where you're investing the money. You're not giving charity. We can actually make it profitable, because the community, if Kanye goes and builds a bunch of schools and people are asked to pay a small fee to enroll their kids in these schools, and they're run by Black educators, I believe the community would support that. So Kanye doesn't have to actually give Black people anything. All we're asking him to do is invest in Black people. See, investment is better than charity. And I think I heard Kanye say something like, when I become a trillionaire, I'm going to give every Black person $100,000. Let's stop talking about charity. Charity is not sustainable. Charity is difficult. Charity cripples the person who's receiving the charity. It also drains the person who's given the charity. A lot of athletes go broke because of charity. They got relatives and they say, oh, well, mama, I'll pay your rent. Cousin Willie, I'll pay your car note. Bobo, I'll pay for you to have a place to stay. Well, why? If Bobo can work, if your cousin actually can learn a skill, why not train them up so you can invest in them and do a trade where they're giving something to you and you're giving something back? Trade is always stronger than charity. But the reason that people think in terms of charity when it comes to the Black community is because they think you can't do anything on your own. They think that you have a disability psychologically to the point where you're not as smart as white people and can't build anything. You can't run anything. You don't have the skill to do anything. And I don't believe that. I believe that you have the skill to do a lot of things. Somebody just needs to give you the investment and the capital necessary to move the ball forward. I believe that if we made an investment we could start with $100 million investment. Kanye, get together with your 10 best friends. Call me on the phone. I'll do it for free. I'll help you set up a plan where we can build 20 schools across this country that'll train thousands of Black boys and girls every single year on economics, so that when we invest in them, they can then go and create the businesses that can employ other Black people. You don't have to do it as charity. It can be trade. Because the thing about it is you'll have celebrities that'll say something like, like Jay-Z will go invest $5 million or $10 million in some white boy startup in Silicon Valley. But then they'll say, well, what did you do for the Black community? Well, I gave $100,000 to HBCUs. No, No, how about this? How about you donate $100,000 to the white boys and then invest $5 million in HBCU graduates so they can get their businesses off the ground and actually go back and employ black people. I'm tired of hearing rappers bragging about how much money they have and reminding you of that the fact they have more money than you. There's nothing beneficial about somebody sitting over top of you saying, look at me, I'm better than you. Look at my private jet flying over your head. Man, fuck you and your jet. That's bullshit. Excuse my French. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cuss, but y'all know me. I have to tell the truth. It's stupid. It's ignorant. It's immature. Stop bragging about how much money you have and start bragging about how many people you've employed. Start bragging about how much, and not just how much property you own, right? We know that's good. That's a great step. You're owning assets. Good for you and your family. Good for you and Blue Ivy, right? Good for you and your wife and your children. Show me some people that you've employed. Show me thousands. Show me like 5,000 people that have jobs now because you built a system out, or you got together with some experts who took some capital that you loaned them and were able to actually create something that's sustainable. That's the idea. Elon Musk employs like 1 million white people. Like, why can't we get some of our billionaire, multimillionaire celebrities to employ at least 100,000 black people? Why can't that be done? I believe it can be, period. All right, let me keep going. I think we need to educate black people on how to buy crypto. Yes, I agree. Kamala isn't going to legalize cannabis. I believe she is. Do you think they will back down eventually over time with the mandates? I believe they will, because they're running out of employees and they're starting to hire. People that don't have the jab. So I knew that was going to happen. Let's see, what age you start investing? Later than I should have, probably about in my 20s. I wish I'd started sooner. Jay Morrison, why associate? Because Jay's a good guy and he's always treated me well, and I like the guy, and I love being a part of the Tulsa Fund, and I love the Black House. What is the age limit for the Children's Financial Program? The Children's Financial Program, we actually created it for kids between the ages of 6 and 15 or 16. But what we found was that a lot of adults were actually going through the curriculum, and the guarantee in the program of our children's program is that if you don't believe, after your child goes through all the self-study exams and all the modules, if you don't believe your child has a financial literacy level that exceeds the average college-educated adult, we will give you your money back. That is our guarantee. It is that good. It is that effective. Remember that this is my thing. This is what I do. This is a PhD is very hard to get in finance. I have taught financial experts. I have taught people who are now professors at universities in finance. So this is stuff that you can see when you dig that deep into something. You see where the opportunities are, and I'm telling you. Get your kids, the difference between a person who's financially literate and a person who's completely lost is not that much. Like literally, just a little reading every couple of days can make a world of difference. A couple of conversations with the right people with the right mindset can make a difference. Shifting the environment slightly in your household where you just talk about ownership and investing as opposed to talking about seeking out jobs, that can make a huge difference, right? So it's not a lot. It's not like, it's like, I think of it like when they talk about how they would respond, I'm a space geek, right? And they talk about like how the whole planet would be devastated, like if an asteroid were to hit the Earth. So they were talking about all their horrible, stupid plans about how they would actually, like do something if an asteroid was coming to the planet. So here's how they would actually stop an asteroid from coming to the Earth and crashing into it and creating like a winter that would or an ice age that would kill everybody. They said that when the asteroids coming toward the Earth, they would just basically have to go out and tap it. Like send something out there and just tap it and throw it slightly off its trajectory. Like just tap it. They don't have to push it or move it. Just tap it so that it moves like a quarter inch over or whatever, or maybe a half an inch. And what that does is if you compound that over millions of miles, it causes that asteroid to miss the Earth, right? So I think with our children, it's the same way. Your children are headed down a certain path. All black children are headed toward becoming whatever. Sometimes if you just tap them, just give them that little extra something, it changes the whole trajectory. That one conversation shifts everything, right? So I'm saying go out and tap a damn child. Some of the kids, sometimes you got to slap a child, but at least tap the child. And if you got to slap them too, I just don't hurt them. But seriously, tap a child or slap a child and just kind of nudge them a little bit, right? So when a kid comes around and the kid is lost and they're thinking in the wrong way, if you just sit there and you give them a little bit of love, a little bit of attention, a little conversation like, hey, you're really smart. Maybe you should think about owning a business one day. That kid will take that and he'll run with that. And next thing you know, he'll say, well, that conversation you had with me 20 years ago really changed my whole trajectory. I've had a ton of young people that have come to me and said that. They heard one speech or we had one conversation. Dr. Claude Anderson did that with me. in 2006 when I met him, we had one conversation and I never forgot that conversation. So just give them a little nudge, and that's how you put your kids ahead of the curve. It's not heavy lifting. It's very easy, but you got to do it, and you got to be conscious of it. You got to be intentional about it. All right. So anyway, I'm going to go. I got to get out of here. I got to get ready. My wife told me that I can't be sitting here talking all night on my laptop. So by the way, so BoyceWatkins.com, if you want to join the event with Jay Morrison, is totally free. Secrets of the 1%. You can go to BoyceWatkins.com or on Instagram. If you click the link in the bio, there's a link right there for that. There's also links to the crypto club, links to the stocks that I'm buying. There's a lot of stuff in there. So feel free to go to my website, BoyceWatkins.com. So take care, guys. God bless you. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out, and I'll be back a little bit later. So talk to you soon. Have a good night. Be good.